demo, I will use an Android system with two applications. Social application that allows you to post tweet to your Twitter account. This application consists of two components, compose tweet activity and post tweet service. ICC Attacker is a malicious application that performs ICC attacks to leak the device ID and the phone number through the user's Twitter account. Hidden activity uses dynamic class loading to communicate with post tweet. Explicit activity uses explicit intent to communicate with post tweet, whereas implicit activity uses implicit intent to perform the ICC attack. In all of these cases, the device ID and the phone number are obtained by accessing the telephony service, which is protected by a phone permission. Now, Architecture Manager is an application that provides graphical user interface to the privilege manager layer. As you can see, the ECA rules repository initially is empty. Now let's generate the least privilege architecture for this Android system. As you can see, DELDroid generated the least privilege architecture and enforced it in this device. These are the ECA rules that capture the determined least privilege architecture. Now let's take a look at the generated least privilege architecture. So here is the determined and enforced least privilege architecture. Number 1 here means attacker main can communicate with component number 2, which is explicit activity, this communication. Now this architecture shows us that the hidden activity is not allowed to communicate with post tweet. That means the ICC attack performed by hidden activity is already prevented by applying the least privilege architecture. So hidden activity will not be able to post a tweet to the user's Twitter account. As you can see also from the architecture that explicit activity communicates with post tweet using explicit intent, number 1, and implicit activity can communicate with post tweet service using implicit intent. These two components also are using the phone permission. That means they can obtain a handler to the system resources that are protected by the phone permission, which is in this case telephony service. Now let's prevent these two components from accessing the telephony service and reinforce this architecture. So now the new architecture has been enforced and has been enforced at runtime. As you can see that the explicit activity and implicit activity, both of them will be able to communicate with post tweet, but they will not be able to leak the device ID and the phone number. As you can see, they return null. Okay, now let's prevent these two components from communicating with component number 5, that is the post tweet, and reinforce the new architecture. Okay, now explicit activity cannot communicate with post tweet nor implicit activity. Note that not only the inter-application communication can be prevented using DELDroid, but also the intra-application communication. Like for example, we can prevent attacker main from communicating with the hidden activity and reinforce this architecture. As you can see, the main activity is cannot communicate with the hidden attack.